Hi, welcome to Burnt Bridge. I'm Bridget, and today we have a very special guest on. We have Joey from Two Addicts A Moron.
Hey.
He is the moron. We're so lucky to have
everybody.
you on today,
Thank
Joey.
you for having me.
Thanks for being here. Everyone, if you didn't see the episode with Mike, that is the other part of Two Addicts and a Moron that we had. And now we've got the whole cast and crew out here. And I'm honored because you guys are 25th on Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, something like yeah. It's a wild thing to think about. Two dirtbag dudes, one addicted to meth, one not, decided to sit in a room and start talking about it, and here we are, two of the best educators.
I mean,
on the planet.
That's what everyone's saying.
You're on your way though, dude.
Well, thank you.
And when you get there, everybody should know that this podcast that you're seeing right here, it's my doing.
It literally is. Like, it actually is. It's not even an exaggeration. You told me, what did you tell me? You were like, you said that I should just do, you were just like, you should just
like
do
in
it.
the middle of your podcast. I think I might have interrupted you in the middle of your story. I'll go back and check out but I think I stopped you and I said, you need to do a podcast. And you looked at me like, really? And I was like, yeah, of course. Like, you do this TikTok thing already. You just take it to a little bit long form. Mm-hmm. You got all the tools in front of you. And so I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
I mean, you're an honored guest with us. We were honored to have you, surprised to have had you. And, the fact that our dumbasses had anything to do with you taking off and doing this thing is wild. So I couldn't be any more honored to be on this thing right now.
Thank you. I mean, that literally means so much to me because truly I literally would not have done this if it weren't for that. And I remember just being like, I was so excited to go on and do the podcast because I just really liked what you were doing. And it just felt very, you guys are just, you do a really good job at making it feel natural to speak to you all. You
saw how easy it was, right? Like I think you walked in and you were like, so we're going to prepare? I'm like, nope. We're just going to go get in there and turn some cameras on and get going, right? Like, I mean, at the end of the day, that's kind of what it is. And
yeah. That's like when I started, I had more of like an outline, but I found that the episodes I've liked most have just kind of been like just talking.
Yeah. So the first 4 episodes of Two Addicts and a Moron, I had an outline. Mm-hmm. You want to get into that? I think you have some shout outs.
We need to shout out these people.
Yeah,
first.
we'll run that back. I want you to shout these people out.
We absolutely do. These are our sober shout outs. So today we have, as of Sunday, Nikki is celebrating a year of sobriety.
Let's go. Get that shit.
Everybody clap for Nikki. Hardest year of your life. Lily has 6 months and 9 days. Incredible.
Let's go.
Half an entire year.
Let's go.
And Rachel has 2 years and 3 months. Oh, she says use my TikTok name. I don't care. Her TikTok name is @RachelAnn.
Hey.
Yay.
Congrats.
And Josh has fucking 7 years. That's incredible.
Holy shit, Josh.
7 entire years. I can't even imagine. That's incredible. Amazing. Those are our shout outs. Back to business.
Right back to business.
We always got to give shout outs.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's a really good idea that I'm pissed that we didn't think of.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, for someone who's 25th in education, you really should have thought of it.
Yeah, probably should have stepped our game up a little bit. Yeah.
Feel free to steal it. I mean, we should always be. There's plenty of people to shout out.
For sure.
At the end of the day.
That's a really good idea, though.
I literally stole your idea for a podcast. So.
Yeah. No. There's like millions of those things hanging around.
That's true.
So yeah.
And you guys have the mail thing.
Yeah. So
you guys don't have any butterflies anywhere that I noticed.
I mean, make us a butterfly, man. I'll put it up there.
I painted that. Do you like it?
Yeah, I do. I love that. That's super cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. Make us some butterflies. We'll put it on the wall.
Okay, I will.
Scared. All right.
Say less. You're getting a butterfly. So I want to hear about the origins of Two Addicts and a Moron?
Goes back a little ways. I mean, I say a little ways, but we've been doing it a year and a half. And I want to say that it was a thought maybe a couple years before that. When Mike and I met, there was like an instant connection between he and I. Mm-hmm. And it was through a lot of foul and twisted humor. And we just, there was nothing that one of us would say that would offend the other one. As a matter of fact, the other one would take it to the next level, and constantly being told too far, like way too far. Mm-hmm. And we would always talk. We were like, I'm a big podcast listener. I listen to a lot of them. And hey, man, we should do a podcast. And I was like, yeah, man, you do meth a lot. Yeah. So, and I don't. So, getting involved in a project with a highly addicted methamphetamine user is not really something that I'm not saying it's a bad idea, right. But I'm saying where you're at is probably not a good idea. And he's like, no, I think we could do it. I'm like, look, dude, the shit jokes are gonna run out. Mm-hmm. I mean, they just are. Like, we have to have we have to have a topic or something that we're talking about. And he said, that's a good point. Let's work on that. And then a lot of time goes by, and Mike hits the patch, and I know he told his story, but he hit the patch where he got sober, and then right there, I thought immediately, so two things happened. I got pretty anxious about him getting sober for a weird reason. I've talked to him about this before, but then I also had the thought, there's our topic. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't get what he's going through, or what he just went through, or what he's going to go through on the rehab side of things. And I think that could be something that we can wrap a lot of our sick and twisted humor up into, and have a topic. And I got anxious because, again, I'm a moron. Like, I really am when it comes to addiction and recovery and things like that. I was like, am I losing my friend? Am I only friends with this guy because he's on meth?
Yeah.
It was just a weird thing, mm-hmm. like inside of my own brain. Like, is he going to come back and we're going to be doing drum circles and, holding hands and prayers and putting his hands upon me and shit like that? Like, I don't want to do that, so there was a little bit of that going on. But when he came out, he was still cracking on all cylinders, man. Yeah. Like, we just got right back into the mix, and he told me that, hey, I want to do this podcast about recovery, and this was within days of him being out. Mm-hmm. And at that point, I said it's a really good idea, but I was still like a little feet dragging on that, because I did have it in the back of my mind that life it's going to happen to him. He's riding a high right now, and I don't want to shit on that. Yeah. And I want to let him have this idea of a podcast. I want us to have this idea of a podcast, and but life is going to happen, inevitably, and it'll happen sooner than later, because Mike's a grown guy with a lot of responsibilities, kids, and a kid, and a job, and all these kinds of things. It's going to happen. So life happened. It happened at about the 90-day mark. Mike was being tested through hair follicles by the mother of his child, rightly so. Yeah. I mean, she was not doing anything wrong. I would have been doing the same thing. But Mike's research of when he would be clearing this up was going to be at the 90-day mark. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, you're told hair follicles take a while.
Yeah.
And it was coming back negative and negative and negative. But in his mind, 90 days was going to be that day.
Right.
You know, like, okay, this is the 90th day. I'm going right to the place. We're going to do it. Mm-hmm. And still came back negative. Mm-hmm. Or positive, sorry.
Right, positive.
It still came back positive. And the stipulation was he couldn't keep his daughter overnight until that came back negative. Mm. So he was upset.
Yeah.
He was really upset about that. And I didn't blame him. I let him like kind of blow the lines out a little bit. But at one point he said, and we're in the parking lot at work, and at one point he said, well, if I'm going to come back positive, I might as well just get high.
Yeah.
And you heard the story. There was a collective of people, a lot of people, that put skin in the game to get Mike sober.
Yeah.
It was a big collective. It was a community of people. Mm-hmm. And I took offense to that.
Yeah.
Like I really did. I was like, hey, I let him walk away, and for some reason, our relationship to that point was complete, just toilet humor.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there was nothing ever really talked about, very serious or anything like that. And this was probably the very first serious conversation that I had. I was like, hey, man, like, come back here. I need to tell you something.
Yeah.
Like, I that offended me. Mm-hmm. You even just saying that. And I don't know if you meant it or not. He's like, I didn't mean it. I was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
You said it out loud in front of me. Mm-hmm. And you're not going to hold it against a good mother because of 10 years of fuckery that you've performed.
Yeah.
You know, this is literally your doing. Mm-hmm. You did this. And there's going to be tolls to pay. There's going to be tolls to pay probably for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
On what you've done for the past 10 years. So you're not getting high, right? And he said, no. I said, well, keep not. Mm-hmm. Put one foot in front of the other. Keep doing these fucking tests until they're clean. Get your fucking daughter back and pay the fucking toll that you've created in this. And he just kind of looked at me and he was like, thanks, man. Mm-hmm. And he turned and walked away. And then our relationship changed quite a bit that day. We almost went from really good buddies to like brothers in that moment. Yeah. And then that's when the very next day I said, let's get this thing going, dude. Mm-hmm. Like, when I saw him react that way, and then it still took a while.
Yeah.
I mean, we have jobs. I have kids. He has a kid. Mike, if you know nothing about Mike, he is very extra. Mm-hmm. He likes to go over the top. So, like, I was like, dude, we don't really need anything to do this. We need like a couple microphones and a camera, you know, maybe even our iPhone.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I was thinking in my head. But Mike's like, no, I'll take care of it. We'll do studio at my house. And he went through a little bit of a rough patch with Destiny at one point, and within like 2 weeks during that time where they were, you know, fighting or something, instead of channeling his whatever he was going through, instead of channeling it how he used to, he was like, hey man, I need some money. We need to buy some cameras. All right, cool. Wait, cameras? Like, we just need one, right? Like, no, man, we're getting 3. He's like, hey, I need something for a graffiti artist. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I need tables, I need chairs. I'm like, all right, dude. Like, and so about a week or 2 later, he's like, all right, we're ready. We have a producer. We've got everything set. we're ready to go. We're ready to launch. And this is a Thursday, mind you. And he goes, yeah. So we're going to be filming. I'm like, cool. When? I'm thinking like a month or two. Mm-hmm. And he was like, oh, we're Sunday. Yeah, we're going to be there Sunday. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, so the first time I ever saw our studio was our first shooting.
Wow.
Ever. Like, I bought half the shit in there. But he just totally went and piled it all in. And then I showed up. I was like,
nice.
This is actually pretty cool. Like, look what I have done. Yeah, you know. Like,
this was all me.
It was all me. Yeah, no, he really, you know, he really put his nose to the grindstone to get it going. So a lot of credit to him and channeling that addict mentality.
Yes.
To like this fucking positive thing for him and like this passion project for him.
Literally, like, it's pretty insane how much addicts can achieve when we're inspired by something in sobriety. Like, literally, you told me I should start a podcast. I was like stewing on it for a while, and I was like, I don't know that, like, because what's crazy is when I was in my addiction, I could not follow through on anything. Like, I'm an artist, I'm a designer, so I've done a lot of like freelance stuff, and like
butterflies.
Butterflies. Yeah. If anyone needs a butterfly, let me know. But when I was in my addiction, I used to like have moments where I would have motivation and then I would never follow through on any obligations. Like, I used to tell people, don't pay me until this is finished, because I knew it probably wouldn't be finished.
Yeah.
And so now I've learned about myself in sobriety that that's not who I am. That's me when I'm in addiction. So like when you told me that, I was like, yeah, but I just don't really like follow through on things. Like, but then I was like, wait, I think I do now, actually. Like, I've kept my job this whole time. Like, I've kept I've kept everything up that I want to do. So maybe I'll just do it. And then, like, literally my whole thing is, like, since that time, I've not missed a week. And because I'm like, I know if I start slacking on this, like, I just won't ever do it again. And but it's just funny how, like, I have to do everything I do. I have to do it in one sitting. I can't clean one room of my apartment. I have to clean the whole thing. Like, it has to fucking get done. It's all or nothing. It's so addicty. Yeah.
And Mike's no different in that. And still is. And I mean, I marvel. I've said it millions of times. Not millions, but like a lot of podcasts that we've had where I'm blown away at the... like, there's some things as an addict that I believe that you need to keep with you. Mm-hmm. And that's one of them. You know, it's just learning how to channel it different. But, you know, for people to say, I want to get rid of all of the addict tendencies. I'm like, do you really? Yeah. Like, some of them are pretty cool. Yeah. Like, I mean, if you really think about it, they're beyond driven. Yeah. When they're in their addiction, you're beyond driven.
I will do whatever it takes to get
You were taking Ubers to like fucking Oklahoma and shit. Like, indeed. That's crazy.
I was dedicated to the cause.
But it's that kind of dedication, however insane it might be. If you can put that towards making butterflies or making a podcast studio or whatever the fuck it is, like, it's something to be marveled. It's something that I have yet to tap into. Yeah. And I don't know that I ever will, but it's pretty crazy. You guys are remarkable fucking people.
Yeah. I mean, some of it's crazy the spectrum of like what an addict can be. Like, some of the worst people you've ever met. Like, for sure. But then when you're in sobriety, some of the best people I've ever met.
100%.
I want to go back really quick to the origin story and that conversation that you guys had, because I just kept thinking about how I think that's why your podcast works so well, is because like you said, admittedly, you know, you have not as much of an understanding about addiction and what that's like as any normal person, you know, normie has. Like, it's just hard to conceptualize and understand until you're in it. And even when you're in it, it's also very hard to understand. Yeah. And so, like, that story where, you know, he's saying, well, I may as well just fucking get high if everybody's going to think I'm high anyways. Right. It's like, that made total sense to me. I was like, yeah. I mean, for sure.
Yeah.
One of my the podcast that helped me to get sober, Dax Shepard's podcast, he tells the story of he had a relapse where he took, like, his drug of choice was Coke and alcohol.
Yeah.
And his dad was dying, and he took some of his dad's Vicodin or something like that with his dad as he was dying. His dad was also an addict in recovery, but obviously allowed to have Vicodin when you're dying. But anyways, and he told his wife, Kristen Bell, about it. And he was like, I'm just really afraid because if I count this as a relapse, that's day one. And I even get to do the thing I really want to do, which is drink and do Coke.
Yeah.
So if I think in my head it's day one, I'm going to drink and do Coke.
Right.
Even though, like, and that makes no sense logistically, because it's like, no, you know what's going to happen if you do that.
Yeah.
But in my mind, it's like, if everybody's going to think it anyways, like, and of course, like, now I don't feel that way, but in early sobriety, I would have totally, like, if everyone thought I was using, or like if I wasn't reaping the benefits of being sober, like, it just makes sense. And you don't think about, like, the thing about addiction is it, like, blocks you from considering the fact that all these people put in, you know, all these resources for you to get sober. You did have a stake in it, like, and you just don't even consider it. Like, it's hard because it's like, it's such a selfish disease, but, you know, and there's accountability in that, but then there's also, like, part of it that's just, it almost can't be helped at times. But when you're in sobriety, that's when you're able to hear it, if someone is brave enough to say that to you.
Right.
And I think that, like, that dynamic is what makes y'all's podcast work so well, is like, he can explain that side of it, and you ask the questions that to me seem very obvious, of like, why would you fucking say that?
Yeah.
You know, like, to me, I would never ask him that, because I'd be like, yeah, brother, like, I would also be thinking
Amen.
that. Yeah.
Like, let's fucking go. Like, if he was surrounded by a different person in that moment, could have gone very differently.
Yes.
You know? And so, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I actually let him walk away for a second before I called him back, because it was just like this ringing thing in the back of my head. And, you know, in that moment, there was no like, man, you're going to fuck this podcast up that we had plans for. There wasn't, it was still just a germ of an idea, you know? So, it wasn't even real, but in that moment, I was just like, I don't want to say I saw red, but
yeah,
I was agitated that he would say something like that. And then that got me to, like, think about the podcast in a little bit of a different light too.
Yeah.
Was because, I mean, the original iteration of Two Addicts and a Moron was like, we're going to be, Joey, you're just here to shit joke, carpet bomb the shit joke guy, like, you know, throughout the whole thing, and be funny. And I mean, going into it, that's what it was going to be. Yeah. And it kind of was, if you watch the early ones, you know, where I do the fake sponsors. I don't know if you saw that, but like butthole meth, you know, like people in the vents, you know, I was doing like these weird, you know, little butthole meth, man. Yeah, this episode's brought by butthole meth. Yeah.
Oh my god.
And it still is.
Yeah.
You know, it still is. I don't want to say that that's gone away, but you know, when we have, there's a heightened level of responsibility for me as the normie to honor the shit out of everybody who comes into that room. And there's, I mean, we've had podcasts that went completely away from drugs. And I mean, we had Kendra, man, like that's the craziest story I've ever heard in my life. Like, let alone like in my life. Like, I don't think I've heard a crazier story. And she's sitting on our couch telling it to us because we're a podcast about this. But it was a moment like that took me to like a different avenue of like, oh, well, I just need to ask really ignorant questions of addicts.
Yeah, because that's what's going to get through to people is like, I don't know. I think if you sit in a room sometimes with just one other addict, like neither of us are special. Like we know each other's brains, like to an extent. There's not the same questions that are going to be asking. And I think the thing that is so valuable that you bring to the table is like helping to break the stigma. If you just hear two addicts talking, sometimes it just sounds like we're really selfish people.
Yeah, you're just bouncing.
Yeah, we're just,
bouncing shit off of each other.
Yeah, and then I fucking wrecked my mom's car and took an Uber to Tulsa.
And they were like, "Yeah, I know."
And everybody's like, "Wait, why?"
Yeah,
and it's like I'm not even explaining why. I'm just telling because like you already, an addict already knows, but you're asking the questions that like could help people who are loved ones of addicts, or like even me this far into sobriety. I have friends and sponsees and different relationships in my life with other addicts where I now feel like I have a stake in it, and when they fuck up, I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And I get it because I've lived it, but I'm like far enough away from it now where I start to lose compassion because I feel more like a person who, you know what I mean? Like, it's just harder for me to understand. I was like, wait, now now I feel like you felt, but on the flip side where it's like, I'm going to lose my friend because you decided to be a piece of shit and relapse and now we can't hang out.
Right.
Like, and of course I'm just like making it all about me, but it is like, I don't know. I think that's such a key part of what makes it work is like you asking those questions that may seem obvious to two addicts sitting there,
Right. Well, it's like, I say this all the time, but you either are an addict or you love someone or you will love someone who will become an addict at one point in your life.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. My son, my daughter, if they don't know one now, they will come across somebody that they get very fond of.
Yeah.
That falls victim to this addiction thing. And there's two sides of that coin. There's mom and dad, brother, sister, kids. They're the ones dealing with the tidal wave of the addiction that is taking place. And I don't know that we'll ever be able to understand addiction any more than we'll be able to understand cancer. Or how to cure it. But at least with cancer, it's an internal thing. You got to fight it with whatever you have to fight it with. And I guess I looked at it from that standpoint was like, well, you're never going to figure out or fix addiction and eradicate it. It's always going to be there.
Yeah. I'm an addict whether I'm drinking or using or not. Yeah. But
the only thing it takes to get closer to figure it out isn't going to a hospital. It's just a lot of conversation. Yeah. It's just a lot of talking. Yeah. And it's being brave enough to do it. And it's looking at myself and knowing that I have a lot. I don't have addict tendencies. I don't want to say, but I have the addict feelings that push them into the way that they went. For whatever reason, the drug missed me. And I don't know why that is, but if all we had, and this is why I was so like adamant about not adamant, but I was like, you need to start a fucking podcast. Cause I think a lot of people would come in and sit on that couch and I would tell them that. And they would be like, what? This guy wants to create more competition? And I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, I do. Yeah. Because it's all it's going to take is a lot of people sitting around and discussing it. And that's the easiest shit to do. Yeah.
I mean, literally, like, I was thinking about this the other day. I was at a bar and someone asked me like why I wasn't drinking, and my answer is always different when it's like it just depends on if I give a fuck about this person or not. Yeah. And I was like, I was just feeling crazy that day. And I was like, oh, it's because I'm an alcoholic. I just was like, which usually makes people uncomfortable. Yeah. And they go, oh my God, you are so brave. And I was like, I was like, first of all, you literally don't know me. Second of all, it wasn't actually my choice to be an alcoholic. You don't even know. I haven't even said that I've recovered from it. Like, there's nothing. So it got me thinking about the idea of like that people saying like, oh my God, you're so brave. And it's like, that's not how I feel. Like, because I know that the process of recovery is someone fucking told their story to me. I resonated with it and it inspired me and made me feel like maybe I could do it too. And then now it is my responsibility to do that for others. Like, that's just how it works.
Right.
But then I think about the addicts in my life and I'm like, no, they're so brave. What do you mean? Like, it's hard for me to feel that way about myself because I'm like, the reality is the solution for addiction and alcoholism is confronting the parts of yourself that normal people are not required to confront.
Right.
Like, that is the only thing that works.
Yeah, I don't fucking do it like you guys do it. There's no fucking way.
And now
scary.
It's like the problem is like you have to do it forever too. Like you let up on that shit and then you're right back in it. And so it's like I toe the line a lot of like, am I over analyzing my life to the point where it's causing me to not be able to enjoy it? Or am I doing just enough to stay sober? Like, where's the line? Where's the middle ground where it's like, I can still be at perfect peace and ease and like not be present in the moment and then also do the internal work required to stay sober. That's a hard place to stay because I'm either overthinking it way too much to where I can't enjoy things.
Yeah, that's just because you're a girl.
I know, when you keep telling me this. God damn it.
Yeah, it wasn't the booze, man. It's just you being a chick.
And I think that's terrible. It really fucking is. Like, I wish I could go a singular. That's why I fucking drank. You asked me when I came on, and it was funny because, like, again, it's just a question that no one in the rooms would ask me. Why did you drink?
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Why did I drink? And
complicated question.
It's very complicated because there's a million reasons. But the main one is that I can't fucking, like, it's very hard for me to live in my brain. And when I was drinking, for the first while at least, like, it was more bearable to exist inside my mind.
It created the caveman with the pickaxe chipping at a rock.
Yes, it did.
Right? Like,
I literally was like, this must be how other people feel all the time. Like, I viewed alcohol completely as like my medicine that I have to take every morning to become what other people are like.
Right.
It's like my antidepressant, even though it's a depressant. That's what I thought. I was like, that's how I justified drinking before work. I was just getting myself to the level that everyone else in my mind starts at. Right. Which of course is not true, but it's how I felt because my entire life I've just never had a moment of silence. Yeah. Like, genuinely, it's always fucking going.
Well, the way you do that is you verbalize it, though, and you set up everything that you have, you know, and that to me is like, that to me is brave. Not you showing up in a bar and not fucking drinking. Like, so you're so brave that you're an alcoholic and you're not drinking. But, you know, it's the other things that you're doing to help the understanding of it. Yeah. You know, and that's what we're doing. That's what you're doing, and that's why I think there's not enough people doing it. Yeah. I mean, there's not.
Well, I think I personally feel very blessed in the way that, like, I have a lot of course, internalized shame about various things. But when it comes to any of my experience with alcoholism, with mental health, with like being a fucking psychopath at all times, I don't have any shame in that. I can be a completely open book, and it doesn't negatively feel like, it doesn't feel bad. I know that that's not the case for so many people. Like, I know that opening up and being an open book in those ways is very hard for some people.
It's probably the hardest for non-addicts.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you guys going through the 12 steps, and really whatever you do to get sober, I feel like, you know, because we've had several people on that went about it in several different ways, but the one common thing about it is you are exercising your demons. You are literally putting the mirror on yourself.
Yeah.
And you are looking at all of you're going into your soul. And you're not just going into the soul, you're fucking going down the elevator into the basement of it.
Yeah. It's scary down there.
It's scary down there. And when you go through what you guys have gone through, and then you're forced to do that because you want, and by the way, going into rehab, it's like most of the people that we've talked to, it's like they're going in with like no shoes, on their hands and knees, like begging for this to happen for them.
Yeah.
Like they have gone through the worst shit in the world that now they're willing to go into the fucking bucket of their soul. You know, so whatever the road is that you choose to do it, that's the one thing that remains the same in all of them that I've heard, is people really evaluating their flaws, their shortcomings, character defects, you know, all of these things. That's something that non-addicts don't do, you know? And
yeah, because I always was like, I know before I went through any sort of sobriety or recovery, I was like, I know there's a lot here that I need to deal with. I don't even know where to start. I've been in therapy for years. Like, I feel like I haven't even scratched the surface of it. And that's what I think AA specifically for me offered me, was like, when I'm talking to my therapist, like, I have a very much, I need to be the A student. Like, anytime I'm in rehab, I'm like, I'm going to groups. Everybody look at me. Like, I've never fucking escaped a rehab. Like, I want everyone there to think I'm doing such a good job.
Right.
So I was never honest with my therapist, because I was like, I want them to think I'm doing a good job. When I'm talking to someone who knows I'm lying, another addict, I can be honest with them. And then they look at me and they say, like, because I'm like, I know I'm a piece of shit. I know I'm selfish. And they're like, hey, you're also self-pitying.
Yeah.
We just saw that. And then they'll tell you what they see in you. And that is how the work starts to happen, is like brutal honesty with another person who can hold up a mirror to you and say, like, this is what you're missing.
Yeah, you're looking in a mirror.
And honestly, I believe in my heart of hearts, like, I know there's qualms with AA. I have my own issues with it, but like, I think that everyone in this world has to do a resentment inventory. It's just,
well, this is an ongoing thing on Two Addicts and a Moron. It kind of stopped a little bit, but I do want to work 12 steps, but I want to do it with a sponsor. And it got told to me, like, I was like, well, maybe I'll do it with Mike. They were like, too close, way too close. So yeah, it's something that I would like to do. Yeah. And kind of go to the basement of the soul, as you speak. Yeah. And figure some shit out.
Because literally, and I'm sure, you've had this discussion before, but none of it is about alcohol. None of it is about drugs. The steps themselves, like the first step is the only one that even mentions it. But you can replace, alcohol with anything. Like, the truth is, I'm powerless and my life is unmanageable. No matter who you are. We think we have control that we don't have. And our life at different times becomes unmanageable because of that powerlessness.
We talked about it before the podcast.
Yeah.
Literally. You talking about all like bad things or like all of that, or Mike's bad thing. I was waiting for something bad to happen to him, and then you were telling me a little bit about where your brain kind of goes, and I was kind of like, well, can't control that shit. Yeah. Like, and it's kind of I think over the last year and a half is where I have really developed this. There's controllables and there's uncontrollables. Yeah. And if I can't control it, I'm not going to spend a lot of bandwidth Like, I might get a little nervous about it or something, but I'm not going to spend a ton of time thinking about it.
I'm realizing in real time that our whole conversation before this, I have not been implementing any of the recovery tools. Like, literally, it's just the serenity prayer. And I'm like, no, I don't know what's happening and I need to know.
Yeah.
And that's like, I fucking constantly catch myself in that. And that's why the third step is my favorite step. Because I personally, that's my fucking problem, is the surrender of the things I can't control.
Right.
Like, the part of the serenity prayer that's like the things you can control, I'm like, period, I've got that.
Yeah.
It's the part where it's like, accept what I can't, that I really struggle with. And also deciphering which is which.
Right.
Because I can look at anything and think, listen, if I was there in Japan,
right,
everything would be fine.
It would be different.
Like, I would know what was going on.
Yeah.
And like, I could be like super cool and like everyone would know how cool I was. Like, I have a solution for everything that I think if I was able to do it, it would work and no one would be sad and no one would hurt. But it's like, that is my fucking problem. Because when I lived there for too long, I realized that isn't real, and then I fucking get fucked up. But anyways, sorry, back to the 12 steps, because I love this idea, because I think everyone should do it.
Yeah.
A lot of people are afraid of the resentment inventory. I never was, because I fucking like writing things down, and I was like, period. Like, that's fine. The part that I didn't want to do was amends. Like, I don't know how many times I worked the steps and stopped at step 8 because I was like, not for me. I've said I'm sorry so many times. Like, anytime I was drunk, I'd be like, sorry guys, so sorry. Like, I was like,
so we talked about this when, so I was telling you about the first 4 episodes. Right? So Thursday to Sunday was when we were filming, right? I didn't know what the fuck we were going to talk about. Like, I just knew that I had this responsibility to do it. Mm-hmm. I promise I will tie this into what you're talking about right now. So, I stopped at H-E-B on the way home and grabbed a pen and a notepad. Mm-hmm. And I literally just started writing down questions. Mm-hmm. Simple 1-line questions. Yeah. And it was like, I was going hard because I was like, okay, let's go. So I'm writing down crazy amount of questions. I got to, like, before Thursday, I had like 300 questions. Mm-hmm. Something just real simple that I went boom, boom, boom. But again, never done this before. Haven't done a podcast before. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the fuck this is going to be. This could be 20 minutes worth of something. Yes. I don't know. Yeah. So what I found was, after day 1, I asked 2 questions, a whole list, you know, and then day 2 or day 3 or episode 2 or episode 3, I ask about amends, because I look at that list when I go to the rooms with Mike, and I study that thing, man. I'm looking at it. I'm like, that started at the very first one I went to. I was looking at that board and I was like, okay. Like, I was like, that doesn't seem that bad. Mm-hmm. And then I would look at it again and be like, okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, all right. Yeah, that's pretty fucking tough. Uh-huh. But the one that always stood out from the beat, I was like, dude, the amends one's the only one that's fucking hard. Yeah. That's the only one to me that seems, and both Mike and, at the time, Jay Klein, love you, Jay Klein. Shout out Jay Klein. They both, like, just kind of casual. They were like, yeah, you know, just fucking saying you're sorry and stuff. And it wasn't as, like, difficult in my brain for them, or how I thought it was. It was like there's going to be this poignant thing, but it seemed like they both had maybe an easier time with that one. And I don't know if that's the steps before it. Yeah. Or what, I don't know. But
I think for most people, the first time you do it, the leading up to that is very hard. It's just getting yourself to do the first one that's, like, really fucking hard. And then, like, something miraculous happens where, like, for me, the first one I ever made was to my mom, and by design, because I knew that she was, you know, it wasn't going to go poorly. I knew that. But it was still really scary because in my family, we tend to kind of sweep things under the rug and we don't really talk about them. Like, well, you know,
most families.
We're very like loving, but then when it gets to the negative stuff, we're like, no.
It's most families.
Yeah. And it's hard to be that way when there's an addict involved, but I was fucked up the whole time they were having those hard conversations. The only time I was involved was my intervention.
Yeah.
But I remember just like for the first time being like, this is what I did. Like, I didn't just say, Mom, I'm really sorry. Like, please forgive me. Because that's what I did before. And I thought that was a true amends, a true apology. I said, Mom, like, I wrecked your car. I took advantage of your finances. Like, these are the things that I fucking did. Like, and my vow to you is this, like, and I waited a while to do my amends to them because I wanted them to believe me.
Yeah, you want to put some stank on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I just remember like addressing all of those things in such a direct way with her. It really did open up a new like whole part of our relationship where we can talk about things. And like to this day, we were planning this like trip that we're going on next week. And my boyfriend's coming, and it's the first time he's meeting my brother, who's like a shotgun brother in this way.
Yeah,
hated every single person I've ever dated.
Yeah. He has an English accent. It's gonna go well.
It's gonna go
He's
well.
gonna be like, "What?"
He's gonna cheer up.
Yeah, fucking living with the Peaky Blinders. What?
Literally. But this whole time, like we're literally going to Dallas, but no one has a house big enough. It's this whole thing. Whatever. Everybody's like got their opinions on what should happen. So everyone's calling me with their opinions about the other things that everyone else is saying.
Yeah.
So that I can pass along the information and deal with the
turning you into some
whatever.
weird middleman.
Yeah.
Like middleman.
And I'm like, why are we not just talking about this together?
Yeah.
Like, anyways, the point being, that is what amends has done. Making amends has done for me. It's really about like the accountability you've never shown before. People know you're sorry.
Right.
Like if they see you getting sober, like they know you fucked up. Like, but to be like, truly, this is what I did to you. And also if I forgot anything, this is your opportunity to tell me what it was and how you feel about that.
Right.
And that is like, I have this thing with amends where it's like sometimes, and this is a hot take, but I sometimes do feel like it does say in the step itself, it says like where to do so wouldn't cause harm to you or others or whatever.
Yeah.
However it says it. I kind of think that should be taken into account more because I don't want to call someone up like an ex-boyfriend or something because I think it's going to be impossible for me to really know my true intentions behind it. Like I have made amends before that I left feeling like the conversation went well, but I was like, I don't know if I did that because I wanted to make amends or because I wanted this person to see that I'm doing better. Like, I think it's hard to be honest about your intentions, especially in romantic partnerships. Like, the time that I felt that way was with an ex. Like, I left and I was like, I feel a little gross about that because I think I just wanted him to see that, like, I'm better.
Look at me, bitch.
I'm so evolved.
Yeah, I had to deal with that too.
Yeah?
Yeah, like, I had a divorce.
Yeah.
You know, my ex-wife. And you can't tell from this jelly blob in front of you right now, but like right after that, I got in shape. Mm-hmm. I got fucking ripped. And I was in the gym all the time. I would leave work. I would stay in the gym for a couple hours, like 6 days a week. Mm-hmm. And in my mind, like I can look back on it now, and honestly, like then I was like, oh, I'm staying in a gym because it's better than being in a bar. Mm-hmm. You know, like, but all I was doing was basically like this self-harm, almost like cutters do. You know, like I've talked to cutters, and they're releasing that way because it feels better than what they're feeling inside, right? Interesting. And that's what I was doing. Like I would be sore all the fucking time. I would go run miles and miles, and all I was doing was like, I just want to look good when I go pick my kids up. Mm-hmm. Like when we're at the assembly or whatever, like that's all I was trying to do.
Yeah.
You know, so
that was some shit I'd never heard before.
It fucking was, but in it, when you're in it,
yeah,
I didn't think that way.
I'm just bettering myself.
I'm just getting better. Mm-hmm. I'm doing my thing. I'm getting healthy. And then you got this extra weird shit happening, which is like now women pay attention to me differently, which wasn't a thing. I was a faithfully married man for 14 years.
Yeah.
And so like now, like what? Like,
yeah.
You know, so there's that. There's people that I would run into after not seeing them for 6 months or whatever. They're like, what the fuck happened to you? You look great.
Mm-hmm. That feels good.
Yeah, I mean, it all feels good, but when, and this is why I kind of stopped working out. I kind of wanted to like, I kind of wanted to go back to the way that I was so I could get back in shape again. Yeah. So I could do it for myself.
Yeah.
You know, this time around.
That's like very profound. And I've never even thought about it that way. Like, I fear I do that sometimes where like I will be distressed, truly in distress from the thoughts going on in my brain. And I'm like, I'm going to the gym right now and I'm going to literally go to complete exhaustion.
Right. Yeah. I'm going to throw up. I would do that.
Yeah.
I would do that shit.
And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, this is good. This is a good thing I'm doing.
Yeah.
But when you said that about self-harm, oh no.
Yeah.
I fear that resonated with me.
I mean, it's a form of it, you know, like, and I know technically you're doing stuff very healthy for yourself, but you also have to be grounded in the reasons that you're doing it.
Yes.
You know,
that's the heart, you know, that
if I'm just trying to get abs because I want you to see me look fucking dope, you know.
Yeah. It's it's so hard to be honest about your intentions because sometimes it's hard to even know what they are. Like, I think that I only recognize in hindsight sometimes, like, God damn it. And I learned this last week and I already forgot it. But like with this whole situation this week that I was like stressing about, someone told me last week, it was my sponsor actually. She was like, she said something about being self-absorbed. And like, you know, in AA, we always hear like self-centeredness, selfishness, whatever.
We all are to a certain extent, I would think.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean.
And that's, you know, in the book it says that's the root of our problems. But when she said self-absorbed, it just like hit differently because I realized that like, and I don't know how many times in my life I'm going to have to relearn this, but like when I'm anxious, I'm being self-absorbed. Like what my fear in that situation is, okay, my partner's going to leave me or something's going to happen where this relationship's not going to end. I'm worried that I'm going to be hurt. Like that's the real thing. At the end of the thing, that's the thing I'm worried about. And that's about me. And I've made up everything that could go wrong. Like nothing is real along that path. But at the end of the day, I'm in total fear and operating. I can't even listen to what anyone's saying to me because I'm so distracted by my own fear of all these things that I made up. And I can't help but be self-absorbed when I'm living in that place. And for a few days until I forgot again, and I just realized that I forgot again, that was the thought that was helpful for me, was anytime I was anxious, I was like, I'm being self-absorbed right now. I can't do anything for anyone else. I can't listen to anyone else if I'm fucking worried about this thing that I literally just made up. Yeah. Like, it's actually not real. And that's like, it goes back to the intentions thing of like, I didn't realize that that's what was behind all of it. Was like, it was just the little kid in me that's so scared of being abandoned. Right. Coming out once again. And those things drive so much of what I do, and my need for affirmation. Like when I make an amends, I need you to be okay. I need you to forgive me and tell me it's going to be okay. And like, that's the practice, is that even when when it doesn't happen, when they say it's not okay and I don't forgive you.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
And you owe me $5,000, so pay up, bitch.
Yeah.
But that's the risk you run, and I think that's why it's probably one of the more powerful steps, is because I've lived my whole life avoiding that conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's I'll bring him. He was on our podcast, my buddy John. I call him JB. John Bryant's a great episode. He's Mike's sponsor.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah.
He had I was watching him make amends when he came back into our lives. I was watching him do it, and it was really cool to watch. Mm-hmm. And he's so well put together. He always was, even when he was on drugs, but now that he's not, he's so good. But his dad was in failing health, and he owed his dad money. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of layers to this amends, and he was like, I haven't talked to my dad in like a couple years, and he had been sober, mm-hmm. The whole time. And I was like, why don't you call your dad?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, there's just like, there's A, B, C, D, mm-hmm. E, F, G. And he was like, and, he's just not in best of health. I know he's not, probably short on time. So again, I just said, go call your dad, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I want your dad to see you like this.
Yeah.
Like, you need that. He really, really needs that.
Yeah.
And I just like, I want that. I want that really bad for both of you. And then I was on the phone, and he walked up with a Post-it note. He said, I just talked to him for like 20 minutes. And so I keep that Post-it note because it was a really cool moment. Mm-hmm. But again, his anxiety, that was going to be the hardest one for him to make, because it was going to involve him pushing an envelope of money across the table to him. It was going to be a lot of things that he was going to apologize for. Yeah. And the 20-minute phone call was just setting that up.
Yeah.
But I was like, dude, I said it just 2 times. He was like, yeah, but there's this. I think you just call your dad.
Yeah.
It's that, again, I don't know if that's just something that I've been able to pick up while doing this thing, because like listening to you, I'm just like, you can't control that shit.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing you can do about it. Like,
no, it literally, it's strange, because it does feel like I'm almost talking to another addict, because that's the advice that they would give me. And my normie friends would be like, no, and honestly, you should be really upset about that.
Yeah.
like we should track his location. Like,
yeah.
But it's like, that's not fucking helping me.
Yeah, dude.
What's actually helping me, like, and that's the thing, is like, I think so much of recovery is like, in my life, I expected other people to change so that I was more comfortable. And like, the act of recovering, I think, is being like, no, actually, regardless of, it's the letting go of the fact, like, they were the problem. Actually, you were the problem. And like, maybe they were also a problem, but you're the only problem that you can do anything about. And that's the truth. Like, and I think that's why, like, a lot of people with resentment inventories are like, well, I can't do this person because I didn't do anything wrong. And it's like, well, actually,
you did.
You did. And even if it's something like so terrible that happened to someone, what I've found is the thing that you can look at in your part is how you allowed that thing that happened to you to affect your relationships with other people moving forward. And like, that's what I think about in all these fears that I have about relationships. It's like, I'm punishing someone else for something that someone else did.
Yeah, for sure.
When in reality, like, I'm the one who was hurt by that, and now I'm projecting that hurt onto a completely new situation, a new person, and that ultimately comes back to me. I can fucking be mad at this guy who did it, or I could just work on doing what I need to, like, resolve my own shit.
Well, sure, but there's a certain... So this all comes back to, like, a little bit of trauma, too. And like trauma is trauma. Like I am from the belief that like what Kendra went through.
Yeah.
Hyper traumatic. So traumatic.
Top of the trauma iceberg, I would say.
Right. But then there's somebody else that we talked to that got spiraled off because of the death of his grandfather. Mm-hmm. You know, that came from a pretty decent family.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, there's no way for me to measure trauma with a ruler or anything like that. But I can't imagine that they felt much different. Yeah. The feeling, right? The feeling. Now the roads to recovery for both of those individuals probably going to be a lot different. Yes. You know, going to look a lot different. But the feeling that they had when you feel bad, when something traumatic happens, it's hard to shake. Yeah. And so I have a girlfriend. She dealt with some traumatic stuff. Mm-hmm. And I understood that. And you, as a guy who's going to be with someone who has got a little bit of trauma in the rear view mirror, right? You have to accept that there is a little bit of a wake to deal with that on your own, right? Yeah. Like on your own, but there also is, I'm gonna have to. Yeah. I'm inevitably going to have to pay for somebody else's sins a little bit. Mm-hmm. I mean, not a lot. I have to have my boundaries with it. Yeah. But I know that that's something that I just have to deal with. And so I hope that your guy feels the same way. Because
yeah, I think I struggle to give people the opportunity to sometimes, because I do feel... I just sometimes to this day, I feel guilt for how much of a burden I was on so many people for such a long time. And like,
yeah, it's gotta be tough.
And I know that like they would all sit here and say, you weren't a burden. Like, we love you. But the reality is I was. And like, that's just the truth. I know that. And so now I feel sometimes an unhealthy responsibility to handle things on my own. And I struggle to ask for help, because in my mind, I'll ask for help when I'm gonna drink. Like, that's when I'll ask for help. Yeah. But anything before that, I'm like, no, guys, don't worry about me. I'm good. Like, because I needed help for so long. I couldn't help, but like, I didn't even want the fucking help, and people were trying to help me. And so now I very much try to be as like self-sufficient as possible, but then I become miserable. And then I become resentful. And so it's like...
Do you ask for help now? Are you better about it now?
I think in some cases and in some instances, like, I, will call my sponsor or whatever. But, like, what is still very challenging for me is in relationships being like, hey, this is what I need. I'm very much, like, a people pleaser to, like, a degree where... no one in the end ends up being very pleased because like I'm like such a yes man until I get to a point where I'm like, why the fuck is this still happening? It's because I've never said anything about it. Yeah. Of course it's still happening.
Did he talk about, I can't remember if he did or not, but did he talk about the lady who talked about asking for help?
I don't think so.
I'll share the story with you. Okay. Because this actually makes a ton of sense. Mm-hmm. And so he was struggling. He was in the rooms a lot. He was struggling with something. And this lady, who's like an old timer in the rooms, she goes up and she goes, well, have you asked anybody for help? And he goes, no, I don't want to burden anybody with my shit. Meanwhile, Mike's the type of dude that if you ask him for help, he's gonna come running. He'll give you the shirt off his back. Mm-hmm. It's the type of guy he is. Kind of heart he has. And so she like flipped the script on his ass. She went, okay, so you'll I know you're gonna help anybody whenever they ask anything of you. And he was like, yeah. She's like, how does that make you feel when you're able to do that? when you're able to help someone out. And he's like, feel amazing. Makes me feel awesome. And she goes, well, you're selfish then. Because you're not asking for help when you need it.
Yeah. And
you're stripping that feeling from the person you're asking for the help.
Yeah.
And that kind of put it in perspective for him a little bit.
Yeah.
So now he's much better at it. I don't know that he's all the way better at it, but I think that he goes to that conversation a lot.
Yeah.
When he knows he needs some help, and he's not as afraid to ask for it.
Yeah.
So
I recently was doing a 5th step with a sponsee, and she said, like, in her inventory, she said some things that, like, I fucking needed to hear so bad. And it was like, what I realized through it was, I think that there's the only version of me that is, I struggle so much living in my own brain.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why would someone else, if they knew what was going on, choose to be there? Because I don't want to be there.
Sure.
So if there's only a version of me that can be loved, is like the feeling. And that's the one that is taking everything on, and like, I'm being helpful to you, and like, I'm doing all these things to add to your life. I don't want to take anything away from you, because this version of myself that I'm presenting on this plate to you is the only thing that I believe someone will accept. And like, obviously, I know that's not true, but that's how I feel. And so I struggle to come to terms with the fact that, like, I don't want to live in my brain. I don't want to live here. I don't want to deal with this. Why would someone else want to deal with it if they could walk away? And so I'm like, if I could walk away, I would walk away. So if they know, then they're going to walk away too, surely. And that's like the feeling, which is obviously misguided, and like, that's what love is. And my therapist always says, she's like, but all the people in your life, like, she's like, you're not special. You have this one thing. You have this thing that these other people don't have, but they have their own shit and they have their own stuff going on. And like, you love them when they're in their shit. Like, none of that makes you want to walk away. It makes you feel closer to them, that they've allowed you in this way. Why is that different?
Yeah, look, man, a lot of people say I give the best advice. I don't fucking take it.
Yes,
from myself, you know, like, looking at things from a 50,000 foot view is always easier than looking at it right up close. Right? It just is. Yeah. Like, and when it's not your shit, you're like, yeah, dude, just fucking dump her or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, bitch is crazy. Like, it's so easy to like say that and see it. But when you have to apply it to your own world, then it's exponentially harder. Yes. Because it requires going to that basement.
I hate the basement.
The basement sucks, man.
It smells bad.
Yeah, and that plate you were talking about, it's like, look, man, you're going to have to give them the burnt toast too.
I know.
You have to give them the shit that is all burnt up in there too. Because
that's me. And I think I do. I'll shut the fuck up about myself after this. But I think I do this thing where I feel like I'm so open and vulnerable. I say everything about my past. Like, I'll tell you any story. It doesn't matter, whatever. But when it comes to anything presently happening, I do not say a word.
Yeah.
When it's over and done, I'll tell you all about it.
Yeah.
So I feel like people think I'm vulnerable, but really I'm not.
Yeah.
Because I'm not telling you what's going on right now.
You are. Just probably a little selective.
I'm very selective. And I've curated my vulnerability in a way that I think is palatable to other people.
Yeah.
Which is fucked up.
Yeah.
I gotta quit doing that.
Looks like I'm teaching you a whole lot today.
You actually really are. I feel like this has not been an interview, and really it's just been a therapy side of it. I appreciate it.
No, I mean, me too. So, Mike told me that it was pretty pretty therapeutic for sure.
Because
he never shared his story until on here.
Oh, I felt so honored.
Yeah, we did it in Iowa too. Like it was the first time I got to see it out, live and in color.
I know.
So. And
it is so wild to hear. I've heard like bits and pieces of his story, but like all together at once.
Me too. Like I mean, I don't think I've ever once just sat there and listened to it. You know, so I listened to it here, and then when we went on that trip, I got to sit and listen to it in a microphone, which was really cool because now he's in front of a congregation of people.
That's so cool.
So, yeah.
That's badass. Okay, do you want to go into our segment?
Yeah, I've heard of this segment. Yeah.
Okay, great.
It's going to be wild.
It is going to be wild. So we're going to start with your rock bottom and your pink cloud of the week, which is in this past week, what's been the thing that you struggled with most or the hardest thing and the best thing that's happened?
Been a rough week at work.
Rough.
Yeah, just, sales aren't rolling quite the way that they need to. Yeah. That's
never fun.
It's never fun. Well, you know what? I'm going to withdraw that one. That's too easy.
Scratch from the record.
My son got a concussion in football.
Oh,
and it was his first one that he got. And it was very helpless to see how scared he was when that happened after the game.
Yeah.
That was a bummer. It was a big bummer.
Yeah.
And he's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
But it was.
That's scary.
Yeah, seeing a different human being, like pupils dilated, glassy eyes. He didn't know what was happening, and it was almost like seeing my 5-year-old little boy again that got hurt or his elbow scraped. I was like, dude, something's wrong with you.
Yeah.
And he was, what? I was like, you're playing football, man. Like, banging heads against each other and shit. Like, so pointed out a concussion and it got diagnosed. So it was a pretty rough day.
Yeah, I can imagine. That's so scary. But he's okay now?
He's good.
Okay,
yeah, he's quitting football. Yeah, he's going all the way baseball. All the way baseball now.
I'm very pro that decision.
Yeah, me too. I've been trying to get him not to play football.
And in high school, I was always into baseball players anyways.
Yeah.
So
most chicks are. That's what I kept telling him. I'm like, man, I see your butt better.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
And like the uniforms are better.
Yeah. Uniforms, they can see your face.
You can tell him I said that too.
Yeah. I'm sure he'll be watching.
Okay, your pink cloud now.
Pink cloud. Pink cloud is yet to happen.
Exciting.
Yeah, pink cloud is on Friday. I'll be leaving for not South Padre. What's it? Port Aransas. Going to the beach. And I am of the belief that everybody should surround themselves by an ocean at least once a year, and it's been more than that for me. I'm a big fan of making yourself feel small.
Yeah.
And nothing makes you feel smaller than a literal sea of monsters.
Yes.
Like it's monster soup. If that water wants to take me away, it's going to have me. Nothing I can fucking do about it. Again, control, right? Like I can't control that. So
that's like oceans and airplanes for me. Those are things that make me feel like
mountains.
What am I doing?
Yeah, mountains make you feel that big too. If you go in the woods and you're just like looking around, you're like, man, fucking bear just comes out. Like,
and
I'm
that
done.
video, that YouTube video that's like, it's like you are here and it's the world, and then it zooms out to the galaxy, and then it zooms out to the fucking, and it's just like, holy fuck, what am I actually doing? Like, why am I worried about anything?
I'm a little booger on the face of this thing that I'm in.
And I'm so worried about fucking what?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. And and our problems are so big.
Yeah.
Like in the moment. They're so big.
I'm very excited that you're going to Port Aransas. I went last year. I loved it there.
Yeah. I'm pretty stoked.
I feel like that probably second to South Padre, best beach in Texas.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's, beautiful, beautiful place. Nice little city. Mm-hmm. It's a family trip. So girlfriend, her kids, my brothers, or two of my brothers, my mom, my dad, we're all going out to hang out. So that's going to be pretty cool.
Amazing. I love that.
Yeah. So.
Bless you. Oh, you're not sneezing. Okay, my rock bottom of the week was... It was, I think, just struggling with overthinking, and I think like feeling like I was regressing in that way, like, and I kept doing things and it would get better, and then I would like lay my head down to go to sleep, and then it would all just rush back.
Yeah.
Like, damn it, back. But the pink cloud in that is that I was given an opportunity. Like, had that not happened, I would have not had to like resolve it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm reminded of the tools I need to be implementing in my day-to-day life. It was just kind of an amplified example, which I think I needed as like a wake-up call to be like, hey, when things are not going your way, you're really freaking out right now.
Yeah.
I literally had let me talk about this dream I had.
Nice. Yeah.
I know no one gives a fuck about anyone's dreams.
Yeah.
But this was so interesting. I had a dream that I got an internship in Washington, D.C. for like a graphic design position. And like in my dream, I'm accepted by this whole like graphic design group of like interns at the White House.
Yeah.
And we're all at the White House. And like I was so excited. I was like, this is my dream. Like everything's going so well. I had my vape in my dream and it exploded in the dream. And they fired me because they thought I brought like a bomb in.
Okay.
And I woke up. It was the craziest thing because none of the characters, I didn't know any of them, like whatever. So then I woke up and I was like, what does that mean? It means that my life feels like I have this good thing that I'm like really excited about.
Yeah.
And soon my vape's going to blow up and it's all going to be ripped away from me.
Yeah. I mean, it could be a metaphor. Did you get mad at yourself when you woke up from the dream? Or is it like, oh my God, how did I fuck that up?
Yeah.
Like, because my girl gets mad at me for
We talked about this on my episode.
Yeah.
Remember?
I know. Oh yeah, I do.
You guys are pissing me off in my dreams.
It's like, what the fuck, man? Like, sorry.
Some version of you in some universe is fucking up right now, and I just tuned in.
I just wanted Cheerios this morning. That's all I wanted.
No.
Yeah.
You've got to pay the piper.
Yeah. Oh, and I do. She's great, but there's at least a couple times a year where.
I also had a dream, literally a more literal dream, that the thing I was afraid of did happen.
Oh, okay.
So love that for me.
Yeah.
But yes, the pink cloud in it is that I was given the opportunity. Like every challenge is an opportunity to, grow in that way. And I think that the universe sends us specific instances to point out where we're lacking.
Yeah.
And I think that was absolutely what happened this week. Okay, now we're going to close my tab.
All right.
Which is something that's happening in your life right now or something you've been struggling with that you want to leave in the past, you want to let go of.
Wow.
Whether it be like a behavior or a thought process or something like that.
I know this sounds counterproductive to what I do on a podcast in the way of like shit jokes, but I would like to close the tab on me applying humor to self-deprecate myself, to beat people to the punch to it, and to cover up real feelings that I have, and I express them, and then I make a joke out of it right after to try and soften the blow.
Yes.
Like, that is a big thing that I would, and I know just saying it out loud right now is gonna it's gonna take a lot of work to do, but it's something that I've thought about a lot and chase a lot of my my humor, a lot of the things that I do, it all stemmed from being a kid and learning really fast that I wouldn't be made fun of if I made fun of myself.
Yep.
First.
Mm-hmm.
So how that's affected adult relationships and maybe even relationships with my kids is when I've got real shit to say sometimes, or somebody's saying some real shit to me that I might not want to hear. I'm pretty sharp with the zingers. And it's not the most healthy thing on the planet. And I do it a lot.
That's a hard habit to break.
Yeah. Thank you for telling me that.
I'm just being honest. I literally, like, that's aspirational. I can't work on that right now. I have too many other things.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, there's some other shit, but that's a big one for me.
It bleeds into everything because it can be used in so many ways. Like, it can be used in the way to soften the blow of delivering tough news. It can be used of the way of, like, if I've just said something real and I sense the room is uncomfortable, to kind of backtrack on what I said.
You could pull it back real quick, or not pull it back. You can't pull it back. You left it there. But you can, you just cover up.
Yes.
It's sweeping, it's putting your clothes underneath the bed instead of cleaning your fucking room.
Yes.
When you were a kid. You know, that's all it is.
Yeah.
And it's lazy.
Yeah.
And it's not always, it's unproductive as shit. And honestly, it's unproductive for me too, because then real shit gets left out there on the table.
Yeah.
So
my favorite bit to do in that vein is like, I'll make a suggestion. I'll be like, what if everyone's like trying to figure out what to do or something, and I'm like, what if we went to the movies? Yeah. And then like everybody's just kind of like, I don't know. My favorite thing to do is go, honestly, I actually just got a phone call and someone suggested that, and like, what a fucking stupid idea, you guys. Like, I do that all the time. Where I'd be like, I'm really hungry, and no one says anything. I'm like, I actually have never been hungry in my life. I was just fucking joking with you guys. But I can't just sit there and like be told no. It's like so hard. Right. Because then I, like, in my mind, I feel stupid, but I'm worried that you think that I'm stupid for what I said. Right. So let me just tell you that I know that I'm stupid.
Yeah, I'm super afraid of being called, you know, fat or dumb or any of that stuff. But, like, I'd rather just beat you to it. Because not only that, I'm just funnier than you. Right. Like, I can do it way better than you can. And if I make the room laugh at me before you do, then haha, motherfucker, you know, like, fuck you. But it's so bad. It's so bad, and it's been really, really bad for me since I was little, like a little kid.
Well, and I want to give you a compliment because, you know, earlier you were talking about how you're just, what do you call it?
Yeah. So before we were talking, before we were getting ready to fire up, you were talking about overthinking and telling me about a situation, and I immediately started telling you about how dumb boys are. Just how there's really not a lot happening upstairs. And so what I said is there's literally just a dude inside of my brain with a pickaxe, and he's dressed like a caveman, and he's just hitting a fucking rock, trying to make a wheel. Yeah. With a pickaxe. And there's just nothing happening. Just tink, tink, tink. That's it.
And I did laugh at that, and I do love that. But I do also want to say that, like, I didn't get to hear, like, that much from you when I did the podcast. Like, I've obviously watched you guys' podcast, but sitting here and talking with you tonight, it's very obvious that there's much more than the caveman with the pickaxe in your head, and I think you're very intelligent. And I also think it is so admirable that you did not have to become curious about understanding addiction. Like, and I think that most people wouldn't be, because it's just, it just seems insurmountable to understand and to want to understand, and to like, I just think that's really cool. To see someone who doesn't have to do that choose to do it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give a credit to one person for that, and because when we walked into this thing, I didn't think it was going to be that. I didn't think there was going to be this genuine curiosity about this, and Mike plays a part in that too, but we got a direct message from a young lady, and it was, I mean, long. She told her story, and this was when we first started. Like, I mean, we were not that far in to this thing, maybe 2 or 3 episodes in. Somebody watched it, wrote this thing. It was like the most gut-wrenching story in words that I could ever hear. But at the end of it, she said, watching your podcast made me feel like I'm not alone. And I was like, I mean, from that moment on, I was like, dude, we're maybe a month, not even, probably a couple weeks in, and that made me know. I was like, okay, there's Mike, there's Jay Klein, there's you, there's Creechy, there's all these people that have come in, and you are where you are now, but you were where you were, and to have you here now, to have Mike where he is now, knowing Creechy, knowing all these people, that Kendra, it's that young lady who sent that message. It's just it's heavy. It's heavy, and I know that if these people exist, if you exist, then there's more of you out there that are still where you were, you know, and we could just keep figuring them out and finding them. It's what it's more about than me being curious about it. Yeah. I mean, because at the end of the day, I know I'll never understand it.
Right.
I never will. I will never get it. And that's okay. Like, I accept that. But I also know that I sit up there and I ask these questions for the often voiceless in this, because the often voiceless is mom, it's dad, it's brother, it's sister, you know. You guys as the addicts, you get to go up and tell your stories a lot. You get to do that, and that's great, and I know that's awesome, and that needs to be done. But there's way less of mom and dad and brother and sister and daughter and son doing it. So I guess I'm out here for them. That's what I'm here to do.
And that's like genuinely so important. And those kinds of messages, like, it's like,
I almost cried just by talking about it.
This was the most misty-eyed I've gotten on this podcast, because, like, truly, it is. I remember sending that message. I actually sent it to Dak Shepard, who responded to me.
That's awesome.
Like, what a fucking cool guy. But I sent him this big long thing that basically said, like, what he did for me was, when I found out he was sober and I'd already been listening to his podcast, he was having fun. And I was like, I did not think that was real or possible. Right. And I told him my big long story, and I said, like, you have no idea. And there's a few like, obviously that's a lesser thing, but there's a few people that have been so impactful that, like, genuinely did make me feel like it was possible for me. And I remember what it felt like to send that message, and to be like, no, you don't understand, like, what you've done for me changed everything. And so, like, oh no, to receive that now, like, I never want that feeling to be lost on me, of, like, how special that is to be able to, like, I don't know, fucking be in a place where I could potentially say something that could help someone, because I fucking know how hopeless that feels. Yeah. Like, it's just the coolest thing in the whole world. And that's my whole purpose in this is like, it doesn't always look like if you feel alone, you feel like you're the only fucking person who's 25 and a girl and being an alcoholic. Like, I also felt that way.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was like possible, and I thought my story wasn't traumatic enough to be considered in this group,
right,
or something. Like, and then I kept digging the hole and the trauma kept building because I had that mentality.
Sure.
So now I'm like, no, guys, please believe me.
Yeah.
Stop way before I did, because even though in a lot of people's eyes that's very early, I still went through 3 years of hell that I knew at the start of that I had a problem, but I just denied myself the opportunity of doing anything about it because I let myself believe that I was making it up or something.
Yeah, or that you weren't worthy of the help.
Yes.
Again, going back to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's awesome that Dax Shepard wrote you back. I've written him a couple times.
That's my homie. I fucking love him.
He didn't write me back.
I think I just got lucky because I always comment on their stuff too.
Yeah.
And so I think one day he just noticed that I had been commenting, probably was going through his DMs, like, because I think he doesn't even check his DMs. Like,
no, he doesn't. I will reach out.
I think it was, I just somehow got lucky, and it was so cool. Like, I can't even tell you how much it meant to me that he responded.
No, that's super cool, and it sounded like that's one of those. You needed to have that. I
really did.
That was a one. That was a win.
That
for you.
That, and then Taylor Swift liking my TikTok about my sobriety.
Ooh.
2 best fucking moments of my life.
Whoa. What do you think about her getting married?
I'm so glad you asked.
Yeah. Here we go. Did you listen to the podcast?
Oh my God, of course.
Yeah. Okay.
I watched the whole thing. I'll be honest.
Okay.
I love her maybe more than anyone in the world. And I was like, girl, you need to shut up about this bread. They talked about bread for fucking 35 minutes, baking bread, whatever. But anyways, I'm so fucking happy for her, because one of my biggest fears, we just discussed, is that like I'll never be chosen for marriage.
Yeah.
And I think she also had that fear. And like, I grew up with her music of like heartbreak and rejection and feeling alone, and then now she gets to have it all.
Yeah, with the fucking meathead too, which I love. Like, I love him. I love him. I'm not down. I don't mean that. I think he would agree with me.
He would.
But that's the coolest thing.
Yeah.
And
like the way, did you watch the podcast?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the way that like, because I always thought she was gonna end up with some like dramatic like poetry person, whatever.
Oh, I thought it was gonna have to. Well, he's like perfect. So, I mean, he's big enough, right? Big enough to understand.
Yes.
But she couldn't fucking date me.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't wrap my head around the type of fucking fame that goes along with being her.
Yes. And that's the part of it that I love so much. Like, when that day happened, I cannot tell you. I was on the phone with my boss when I received the message of the first person sending it to me. And I just, my first thought was like, if any woman would have all the reasons in the world to give up on love, it is someone like that, because who could understand you? Yeah. She is in the most unique position I could imagine.
I was telling my girlfriend about, I think she watched it in clips.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. I just turned it on. Mm-hmm. I love the Kelsey brothers too. I just think they're fucking cool. Mm-hmm. But she was on, I was like, oh, all right. Like, I went in kind of kicking and screaming. And she is up there with the Whitney Houston as far as fame. I'm not talking about talent.
Yeah.
You know, because Whitney sings way better than Taylor. I'm not talking about that.
We're not having that discussion right now.
I'm talking about the fucking famous that she is acquired, which is Mariah Carey, Beyonce, Whitney Houston. Like, it's a handful.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's there's a handful of women specifically that have reached that kind of Madonna. Like, she's in that kind of breath now. She's in that air.
Yeah.
And maybe even rising above it as we speak.
I know.
And the fact that I felt like after listening to her for an hour and however long it was, and I felt like I would not be uncomfortable sitting right there next to me was like, and I can't say that about Mariah Carey or Madonna or Beyonce. I think I would have a fucking panic attack if Beyonce was sitting right there. And I'm not saying that's not an indictment on her. But Taylor, like, I feel like, hey, you want to go play some cornhole or something? She'd be like, yeah. It's like, let's go do it. So that's what I came away with.
Radu, clip that because the people need to hear it. Because that is like truly every time. And I understand like it's not, the music's not for men. Like it just isn't like it speaks a lot to the female experience, whatever. But the reason I fucking love her and like I feel so passionately about it is because she is she's been famous since she was 15 years old.
Yeah.
And to still remain that down to earth is such a feat. Like,
it's hard to do.
And like to have not really had any, like we've never seen her paparazzi be like, fuck you, like somebody on the street. If you caught me on any day, I might be doing that.
Yeah.
And I'm just a person. Like, imagine having people stalk you all the time and remaining that fucking cool. And to see someone who's worked so hard to retain that, like finally get their fucking fairy tale.
I mean, who knows? It could end up in divorce.
Hey!
But, you know.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, there's a lot of hot cheerleaders on the Chiefs staff.
Swear to God.
I'm kidding.
Travis Kelce, you better fucking calm down. Keep it in your pants. He's watching.
You're already blaming him for fucking you, like you motherfucker.
I swear to God. Oh, he knows. He's got that prenup, dog.
Oh,
woo,
man. You know, it's funny Travis Kelce makes about $16 million a year. He's had 2 $100 million contracts in the NFL or somewhere around there. And he is not even close to the fucking breadwinner in that family.
She's a billionaire.
Like,
she literally has $1 billion.
Crazy,
That's crazy.
Dude. That's crazy. Yeah.
Wow, I'm so glad we got to talk about Taylor Swift.
You're welcome for bringing that up.
You brought it up.
I could tell.
For the record.
I could tell you were.
It's like, when's he gonna ask? No, truly, any opportunity to speak on her, I will. I did a solo episode recently where I was like, before we get started. It was the day of the podcast before we even knew about the engagement. I was like, I need everybody to just go ahead and fast forward if you don't care, but please stay for 5 minutes if you do care. And I'm going to talk about Taylor Swift right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I love her. Okay, back to it. My Close My Tab is I'm going to, I guess this is more of an open my tab, but in a close my tab type of way. I'm going to start implementing the pause whenever I'm feeling like anxious or I'm not a person who's very reactive outwardly. Like I don't need the pause so that I don't bitch someone out. I need the pause so that I don't spiral, and just to pause and sit with whatever I'm feeling without then like giving all my attention to it, to just pause and be like, great, what's the next action that can get me out of this feeling? Like, I think that's really, I have to retrain the neural pathways that are starting to go back to old habits of like, well, no, we must figure it out and we must not do this and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, pause, breathe, and then let's go the way that we know works, which is not fucking feeding into that and whatever. So I'm doing the pause. And what's crazy is like AA has the pause, like a lot of Western philosophy has the pause. Like it's all like the silence and the like stillness when feeling dysregulated is like, it's recommended in all of these different like programs of like, you know, self-reflection and discovery. And so
you do the text pause?
What is that?
Okay. So first of all, don't have arguments in text. First of all, don't do that. Mm-hmm. But what you can do is, even if you're having that on the phone, mm-hmm. you text a seething whatever is just there, whatever mm-hmm. is blah, 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 and then you erase it.
Yeah.
And then you move on.
That's good.
Yeah. Emails, you can do that with emails. Like you get shitty email work or whatever, type up an email with what you really want to say. Then
Delete
pause.
Yeah. That's
Put that
good.
shit back.
That's good advice. I'm going to do that.
Yeah. Mentor of mine told me about it. Talked to me about it. He's going to be on the podcast here pretty soon.
Sweet.
Yeah.
We should do some sort of like, I don't know how it would ever work, but like collab situation.
Well, I think, so you're already going to be on Two Addicts and a Moron. You're going to be a reoccurring guest. And I would just think that.
Yeah. That'll do.
That'll do. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah, just take that with you and we'll, put it up there. And we did a collab with Against All Odds.
Oh, sweet.
We did that pretty early on.
Okay, amazing.
So, not going to be that hard to do.
Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah. And we can implement some of your stuff and the tab closing and the pink clouds and the overthinking. I actually thought that you would be a really good, just like sort of a permanent guest.
Bring me back. I'll literally come whenever.
Because, look, there's very few women that can deal with me and Mike's hijinks. You know, there's very few. It takes a special one. You got it. Yeah. My girlfriend, Destiny.
Yep.
And then maybe my mom. There's got to be someone out there. But also we do know that it's always very good to have the female perspective in that realm of dude, in the realm of dudeness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just like hanging out with boys. Women are such drama. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Tell everyone where they can find you.
Joey the Moron, at Joey the Moron on Instagram. I mean, just there. Two Addicts and a Moron. Anywhere you get your podcasts. Apple, Spotify, YouTube. If you want to see our ugly mugs. You want to watch a really good episode. It's with Sober Bridge here.
That's me.
And that's where you find me.
Hell yeah. And also Two Addicts and a Moron on Instagram as well. And TikTok. Yes.
I'm so fucking bad at this. So Two Addicts and a Moron on all of the things like Instagram, Facebook, DM us. We do look at that stuff. Obviously, we're really happy to interact with the people.
Absolutely. And of course, sorry Radu, didn't do it at the beginning again. That's honestly my bad. Please subscribe to this year podcast. Leave a like, leave a comment. You know what to do. Also, we have merch. It's in the link in the thing.
You have merch?
I do have merch.
Yeah.
I am so poor that I haven't been able to buy my own merch though. But please, you guys do it.
Yeah.
So then you do it so then I can do it. Yeah. That'll be great. I'll use the $30 from you and I'll do it.
Okay.
That'll be great. Anyways, thanks so much for coming on.
No, thank you. This was an honor. I'm super proud of you.
Thank you.
For doing this. How many episodes are you in now?
I don't even know.
Maybe 15, 16.
Okay.
Hell
cool.
Yeah.
Well, look, the burnt bridge world.
Yeah. Universe. I think we're saying.
Look what I fucking created. All right. Just look what I fucking created right here. This doesn't happen without this fucking guy. So you're welcome.
and that's so true. And that's a wrap. We'll see you guys next week.
Later.